So y'all, I wanted to do a quick video on why divorce is on the rise, why people are leaving their families of origin. So you're seeing a lot of families split up. People are leaving narcissistic relationships, including family members behind and lovers behind. Also, I want to tie this in on how Christ consciousness ties into this, and how the fact that we're leaving an old era to come into a new era for mankind, this all ties into this. It's going to answer a lot of the questions people have about why the world seemingly is breaking down. So first and foremost, y'all have probably noticed that a lot of people are outing toxic family dynamics, are outing toxic marriage and relationship dynamics. All of it is coming to the forefront because we've come from an era of hush-hush, quiet illusions, basically preserving the institutions of family and marriage and certain relationships regardless of the quality of them. It was really about the quantity. Have as many children as you can, even if you're not a healthy, able-bodied, able financial, able emotional parent. Continue to just have kids, because it's all about quantity, making more people. It's not about the quality of the marriage or the quality of the family structure. It's about quantity. Just do, don't think, don't feel. So we're moving from that because we're going from a tribal-based consciousness to a more empowered individual type consciousness, where we're moving from people being obligated to stay in family dynamics and marriages based upon, outward social pressures and religion and those type of dynamics, to where people are now moving towards their fractal, which is people who are energetically aligned with them, people who can truly see them, feel them, hear them, and truly be with them. Now, a lot of this is based on the philosophy of human design, where basically we're moving from a 400-year cycle, which was called the cross of planning, which was based on institutions. It was based on religion and government and education systems, things that kind of hoarded the people together and had a very much groupthink mentality of keeping the group safe, not really worried about the individual, and doing what was best for the collective regardless of how harmful it was to the individuals. So that is considered more of the cross of planning, where we self-sacrifice and we feel obligated to be in places and with people that may be harming us, but we're doing it because it's better for the collective, if that makes sense. So you sacrifice your dreams and your hopes and your dignity and your respect in order to keep the group together, regardless of how raggedy it was. So, and even how our government and politics and religion and education is ran, it wasn't about quality, it was about quantity. What do we need to teach you? What do we need to tell you to do? How do we need to program you in order to make sure that the group continues to survive, not thrive, but just continues to survive, so they're useful, so they can be siphoned off of. Now we're moving to a new era, and it's been ushering in, and it comes in 2027, but it's been slowly transitioning over, and this is called the sleeping phoenix, the era of the sleeping phoenix. So this goes into, like I said, more of a empowered, self-sufficient, holistic, healthy individual. And the good thing about that is we know that when you have healthy individuals in a community, the whole community is going to be built strong. Because my thing is, like they say, your chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So now that we're moving to more of an empowered, self-sufficient individual, we're going to have stronger communities. And the thing is, we have an energetic shift that is taking place, where if people are not on the same frequency as you, if they're not your fractal, which mean people that truly resonate with you, you're not going to even really be able to really stay with those folks. You're going to feel it. You're going to become ill. You're going to have a lot of inner resistance and turmoil trying to stay around people, places, and environments that don't really resonate with you on an energetic level. In the old era, you could stay around abusive, narcissistic, low vibing, poverty-minded people and still be interconnected. Even if it was harmful, you could stay there decades and for a lifetime. Now it's getting to the point where you can't even stay around those people if they're not a match, an energetic match to you. And that's why there's been so much splitting and so much basically big choices have to be made of, like, okay, are you going to grow and evolve, or are you going to stay where you're at? Because there coming some hard stops, and there's coming some levels where it's like, if you choose to stay over here, you're gonna be over there. It's gonna be very hard to get to another dynamic. So you've been having to make different choices of, okay, are you going to evolve, or are you going to continue the same patterns and loops and behavior that was having you in these terrible traumatic cycles with other people? So y'all, all of this ties into Christ consciousness, because even Christ said, look, I don't come to bring peace, I come to bring a sword. I come to divide the father from the son, and the mother from the daughter, and the daughter from the mother-in-law. So another verse that also comes to me is, you know, who is my mother? Who is my brother? Those that do the will of the Father. So we're really getting to a point now where, regardless if you're blood related, if you grew up around these people, you're not going to be able to stay around them and not be critically harmed if these people are not truly on your same wavelength, if these people are not truly on the same frequency. Because a hard splitting with the sword is coming. And in the old way of being, the old era, it was all about, you know, blood relation. Oh, you know, the family, doing what is right for the birth family. And if you get into a marriage, do what is right for this marriage. All of that, if it's not on the same wavelength, if it's not on the same frequency, there will be a split that is coming. And I tell y'all all the time, the family, the bloodlines that you come through and things, a lot of times this is contracts. A lot of times this is karmic contracts. This does not mean that these are the people that you have to be around for the rest of your life. If you're a soul being, you have to come through a woman to get here. So you're going to have a human family. That does not necessarily mean that you owe those people your life. That simply means those are the people who brought you forth. Yeah, you're going to have the DNA. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of the ancestral programming. But you also have the higher self and the higher infinite source of you that can learn to integrate and basically realize that you don't have to be so strong-held to the ancestral, the epigenetics, the ancestral programming, nor to this family that you come from. You get to choose exactly how you want to move and what your story is going to be. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of splitting with blood families and with marriages, because an old way of being is going out and a new way of being is going in. No longer can we have these empathetic, narcissistic bonds and contracts. We can't have these parasitic contracts and bonds that are going to be lasting. So people are calling to really split and choose which side they want to be on.